Here we are again with another episode of Monday Night Raw. The go-home show to the Royal Rumble. We have 6 days until the Royal Rumble, and the main event of this show was Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Ronda Rousey and Natalya. We had Heavy Machinery make their in-ring main roster debuts like they should have done last week, but it was at least great to see Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovic in a match. We had Bobby Lashley look like he started a new feud with Apollo Crews, which I don't think anybody's going to care about. And, of course, in between all of this, in the beginning of the show, Vince McMahon makes an appearance. Now, I believe Vince McMahon has been announced for SmackDown this week to be on that show. I don't remember him being called up for Raw, but we got Vince McMahon anyway. Plus, the Revival again embarrassed on Monday Night Raw and are not your tag team champions. That is still Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. If I was the Revival after everything they've been through, I'd grab my bags, I would fly home, and I'd be like, that is it, we're done. Because this is absolutely ridiculous what they do with the Revival. From here, they actually have nothing left to do in WWE, and if I was them, I would just quit. I'm not saying that for everybody. Everything is a case-by-case when it comes to superstars. But if I was a Revival, I would just say, you know what? We're going to pull a Neville, and we're going to leave. Let's see here. Anything else that we got to talk about before we get into the show in the audios and stuff? Oh yeah, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins had a pretty good match and a good promo before the match, which is definitely something we'll get into later. Lucha House Party faced off against the Singh Brothers and Jinder Mahal, who gives a damn. Elias faced Baron Corbin again, who gives a damn. And let me see here. That's about it, really. I'm pretty sure we did have a little reunion between Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Maybe they're going to be a tag team again, which would be a positive thing for WWE. But no, other than that, before we get into all this stuff, with the Moment of Bliss, I'm not really a big fan of this whole thing. Alexa Bliss has never appealed to me as anything other than Lincoln Murphy's manager. That was her role. She was good at it. She did her job well. And she just hasn't. I don't understand, other than the fact that she has blonde hair, big, nice sized tits, and a cute ass, that she's even in the position she's been in. And now you give her a talk show. So hopefully, with her announcement tonight that she's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble, that this is the last Moment of Bliss. But Lacey Evans made her debut as in a speaking role in wrestling match, and I honestly want to ask, why is Lacey Evans coming out and cutting this promo and talking like this? I will win the Women's Royal Rumble. She sounded like a fucking robot. Seriously. We've heard many promos by Lacey Evans on NXT TV, and she's never sounded like that. It was just so cringeworthy. If it's on the audio thing, I will play that part, because it's just so fucking cringeworthy. It's so bad. But this show started off after the Martin Luther King Jr. Promo package, video package that they play every single year. It's a new one, I think, every single year, but they re-update it every year. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out to talk about Finn Balor.
Here comes your spoiler alert for this edition of Monday Night Raw. Even miracles fear Brock Lesnar. This Sunday night at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event, when my client Brock Lesnar puts to bed this ridiculous
obviously that wasn't the full promo. He talked about how last week Finn Balor pinned John Cena. John Cena took the mic and said that he believes in Finn Balor too, and we all should. It's a really good promo. You should go check out his entire promo. Before we get into this anymore, it is going to be, there was an article with ESPN, I believe, that an interview that Finn Balor did with ESPN, where he was asked what he's going to be doing for the Royal Rumble, and people want to know, is the Demon going to return? No, the Demon is not going to be at the Royal Rumble because of many factors. The fact that this match was not booked, and this match wasn't brought together until last minute, practically. And him coming out as the Demon would make no sense because every time Finn Balor does the Demon, he always changes the look. He might use the same colors, black and red, and a little bit of white, but he always changes the way the color looks. Another reason why is that Vince McMahon himself feels that if the paint is going to be used, Finn Balor has to win. So Finn Balor coming out as the Demon at the Royal Rumble would make everyone believe that Finn Balor is going to win the Universal Championship, which A, he is not, and B, he has no chance at all. But the fact that you have Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, we're hopefully going to have a better match than what we would have saw between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. But Brock Lesnar is coming out of the Royal Rumble as the Universal Champion. So you save that for whatever, and hopefully whatever his match at WrestleMania is going to be. Whoever he faces, whether it's The Undertaker, John Cena, whoever they go against, maybe Bobby Roode, maybe Chad Gable, who knows, whoever, or whatever match he's in, if it's a one-on-one match, or a triple threat for the Intercontinental title, fatal four-way, doesn't matter. If he's going to win the title, you have the Demon show up. That is the reason why you're not going to see the Demon, period. The Beast versus the Demon would be a nice marquee, but you know that WWE, Vince McMahon himself, wants Brock Lesnar to take the title into WrestleMania, and he's not losing it to Finn Balor. That is why we're getting Finn Balor. And that's the biggest reason why we're getting Finn Balor and not the Demon. People can sit there and be like, oh, come on, this is the best time to do the Demon. No, it's not. Finn Balor, the Demon King, which I so fucking hate the fact that they tacked on the name King. It's the Demon, not the Demon King, just the Demon. He went almost 2 years in NXT without even being called the Demon King. It was just the Demon. Just leave it at that. But there's not going to happen at the Royal Rumble for a multitude of reasons. One being has no new gear, no new designs, no nothing. And because Vince McMahon doesn't want the Demon to be used unless you know for a fact Finn Balor's winning. Like, he's used it 3 times since he's been on the main roster. SummerSlam 2016, TLC 2017, and SummerSlam 2018. Those are the 3 times, and he's won each of those matches. The Demon, if I'm correct, has 1 loss, and that was NXT TakeOver the end against Samoa Joe in that cage match. That is it. Vince McMahon is because basically, if the Demon is to lose, like if he was to come out as the Demon at WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, but the Royal Rumble, and then lose, the mystique and aura that is the Demon, and if he used to use it at every single pay-per-view, it becomes a novelty act. It becomes a Braun Strowman. It becomes a Big Show. It becomes something that is a crutch. As he said, he relied on it a little bit too much in NXT. He feels it was he used it as a crutch on every single takeover. I believe he was the Demon. So him coming out as the man, and you don't know if he's going to win or lose because he's won I believe he's won a couple pay-per-view matches as the man. But if it's the Demon, we already know Finn Balor's winning. And him not being the Demon, 1, we know he's not winning, and 2, it's just, it makes it a little bit more intriguing, is that maybe the man can do it, but no. That is why you're not getting the Demon at the Royal Rumble.
So Finn Balor
All of a sudden, Vince McMahon comes out.
Versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, I would suggest to you the only way anyone could believe in this is if they believe in the old story of David and Goliath. Remember that one? I never read the Bible.
I love that from Paul Heyman, because you all know Paul Heyman is Jewish, so why the hell would he read the Bible?
This could truly be David and Goliath. You see, let me refresh your memory. One day, David went out into the neighborhood. He ate every single mushroom he could possibly find. And then from there, thought, I'm going to go up and challenge that big, nasty, mean giant. And he did. And the giant Goliath beat the holy hell out of David. And he was never seen again until he was reincarnated as Finn Balor. If any of you people actually believe that Finn can beat Brock, then you definitely all believe in fairy tales. You know,
Strowman, which I could have done without this, the fact that Strowman 2 weeks ago really exposed himself as not being able to handle being the guy with that awful fake camera and camera, that front and back promo where he was in the ring and Brock Lesnar was in the back, that satellite view promo. That kind of just killed Braun Strowman completely for me and a lot of people. So I wish they would have just left Braun Strowman out of this entire thing.
Last Monday was the worst night of my life, thanks to Baron Corbin.
No, I'm pretty sure it was your own fault.
He cost me $100,000, and he cost me my Universal Championship match for you.
Let's see. Baron Corbin hit in a limo. You decided to destroy the door of that limo and the driver's side mirror. Then you decided to raise your voice to Vince McMahon after he fined you $100,000. So what did Baron Corbin do to get you to... You're kind of like trying to blame other people for your own faults, Braun. Just, that's lame and weak as hell. Blaming the heel. You're supposed to be a baby face. You're not supposed to blame others. You're supposed to sit there and take responsibility for what you did. It's your own fault. For more reasons than one.
But saying that, last Monday was the luckiest night of your life as well. So if you still have that Universal Championship after this Sunday, somehow I'll be waiting on the other side. And I'm gonna rip you apart like another one of Mr. McMahon's limousines.
Let's look on Vince's face. Finn Balor comes out, and rightfully so. I could have used without Braun Strowman and Vince McMahon. If they wanted to do this whole promo thing between Finn Balor and Paul Heyman, it would have been so much better, in my opinion. For the simple fact is, Braun Strowman was not needed. And, it was just one of the more annoying things is that we had two good portions of this with Finn Balor and Paul Heyman. Vince was not needed, and Strowman was not needed. The only thing this set up was a match between Finn Balor and Braun Strowman after this entire promo. This thing has to work, right?
And the Balor Club believes. And at the Royal Rumble, I will defeat Brock Lesnar, and I will reclaim my Universal Championship.
Well, Lesnar is smiling.
Oh, Finn, I know I could have beat Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he tries.
I don't know if you can, but you damn well better.
Who won't?
Hey, Braun, thanks for the support. I appreciate it, but really, next time keep your nose out of my business because I'm going to do something that you've never done, and that's beat Brock Lesnar. Now, Vince, you got the story a little bit mixed up. Yeah, I think I have an idea. Don't go anywhere, Brock. I got an idea. Yeah, that's right, jog on. Vince, you got the story a little bit mixed up. You see, David, he stood in the shadow of a giant. And they laughed. They said, you're half the size. And they laughed in his face. But they didn't know who David was. They didn't know what he was made of. And Goliath fell, face down in the dirt. Boom! No one was laughing then. Let's have a real life David and Goliath story happen right now. What about it? What about it?
Sheep.
Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor.
Again.
Interesting.
And that was our first match. Man, you can just tell how much Raw is hurting with talent, because you have Roman out with injury with his leukemia battle. You have Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens out as well, and they're just really hurting. We're seeing match after match after match, the same old shit, different day, every single week, and it's just like Raw desperately needs to go back to 2 hours, desperately. And here's the thing, with AEW coming up and them doing what they're going to be doing, and maybe Tuesday Night Dynamite starts out in like October when SmackDown goes to Fridays on Fox, and they start killing in the ratings. They're having great show after show after show, and fans are just enjoying it. Maybe then we could possibly see Raw cut down to 2 hours to compete, because Raw getting that. The only reason Raw beats SmackDown in the ratings every single week, for the most part, except for I guess the holiday editions, but those don't count, I guess, is because they have that third hour to tack on more ratings. If they were both 2 hours, I guarantee you, majority of the time, SmackDown would beat Raw. Raw desperately needs to go back down to 2 hours, because tonight we saw the Reveiw versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode for the tag team titles again, Balor versus Strowman again, Corbin versus Elias again. There's just too much. Too much of this rinse and repeat. Only thing we didn't have was Riot Squad versus Bayley and Sasha Banks, because Bayley and Sasha Banks were already in the main event against Ronda Rousey and Natalya. It's just too much rinse and repeat. We come back from the break and the match is underway. Braun Strowman strikes first. Finn guns back as Brock Lesnar marches from ringside with Paul Heyman. Braun with some more attacks until he runs into a kick. Balor ends up delivering a slap. Strowman comes back and swats him away as Lesnar smiles. Braun kicks Balor out of the ring. Then Strowman decides he's going to run over Finn Balor with a running shoulder block on the outside. Braun brings Balor back into the ring and splashes Balor in the corner. Strowman scoops Balor up, but Balor ends up sliding out. Braun follows this up with a big splash in the corner for a 2 count. Braun keeps control and sends Balor back out of the ring. Strowman follows and charges, but Balor catches him with a sling blade. Balor returns to the ring as he referee counts. Strowman makes it back, but Balor starts mounting offense. Strowman catches Balor midair and scoops him up, but Balor gets on his back with a sleeper. Lesnar looks on smirking. Braun smashes Balor back in the corner to break them. Balor comes back in with another sleeper, bringing Braun down to his knees. And then Balor with some nasty elbows to the face and the neck of Braun Strowman. Balor with a stomp to the chest as he got Braun Strowman down on the mat. Balor goes to the top for the coup de grace, but Braun comes up and grabs him by the throat. Braun sends Balor off to the floor, but he lands on Lesnar's arms. Lesnar tosses Balor in a German suplex, a belly-to-belly suplex, and I'm thinking, why is the ref not DQing the match? That should have been an automatic disqualification. With the end of the match, the way the match ended, why was this not the end? He caught him, and instead of letting go, he suplexes him. That's a DQ right there. Lesnar picks the title back up and gets on the apron, staring Braun down. Braun nods at him. Lesnar lays the title down on the mat, but Balor pulls him off, makes him hit the he kicks him face first into the ring post. Balor goes in and runs the ropes, leaping over to take Lesnar down to the floor again. Braun chases Balor back into the ring. Balor unloads and hits a sling blade. Balor takes Lesnar down again, and Lesnar is stunned now. Balor charges and dropkicks Lesnar in the barricade. Braun pulls Balor into the ring by his head and tosses him across the ring. Braun runs into the ring post. Balor dropkicks Balor and Braun back into the corner. Balor goes for the coup de grace. He hits it, goes for the pin, but Lesnar runs in, hits and drops Balor with an F5 for the disqualification. Balor wins the match by DQ. So, what was the point of this match? I don't know, just to get a little interaction between Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor. This really didn't do nothing for me when it came to what's going to happen on Sunday. I still say Finn Balor is not going to win the title, but I'm sure he's going to have a good showing. It'll probably be rinse and repeat when it comes to Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles matches that they have with Brock Lesnar. Balor gets destroyed in the beginning of the match. He fights back, and then Brock Lesnar ends up winning with one F5. But we'll have to wait and see. And then we have Lashley and Leo Rush out here celebrating Bobby Lashley's win from last week. There's a podium in the ring, and I'm like, why the hell is there a podium in here? Well, apparently, Bobby Lashley is to stand on this podium, have his Intercontinental title put around his waist, and then he's going to start posing for us. All of a sudden, Apollo Crews comes out, and he knows it's not a non-title match, but he wants a match against Bobby Lashley. Leo Rush says, if you can be, fresh faces, new things, more of what we want, more of what we don't, less of what we don't want. Did anybody ask for a pose down between Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley? I didn't. I sure as hell didn't. Did you? I don't think so. Why in the motherfucking luck do I want to see a pose down between these two? For the right, it's like, it's just like, really? Do we have time for this? Oh, that's right, we have 3 hours, so we need further. They still... Like, new era, new things, new matchups, new races. We're going to have this. Oh, boy, I just don't. No. Bobby Lashley attacks Apollo Crews after a couple of poses. Who really gives a damn? We get a match between these two. Lashley ends up getting involved. Big spear from Lashley. Lashley comes for the win. 1, 2, 3. Who the fuck cares? I tell you what, I don't. After the match, Seth Rollins' music plays. He interrupts the celebration of Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush. They have a stare down on the ramp as Seth Rollins comes down for his match. Now, if they have the promo, I will play it if I can find it on here. Hopefully, they have it on WWE's YouTube page. But this was a pretty good promo. WWE, like Seth Rollins, just showing you how much he loves what he does. And it's definitely going to be, hopefully they have it on here. Because the rebuttal from Drew McIntyre was also a pretty good one before the match. So we have Seth Rollins in the ring with a promo. Is it here? Really, people? Stupid advertisements, I swear. Let's see here. Do they have it? Do they have it? Do they have it? I really hope so. It should be at the front of the match one. No, they do not. That's a bummer right there, because you gotta hear what they sell. Oh, here it is. Yeah, they do. This is a pretty good promo. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre trade words before that match on Raw.
One thing that I saw today, one quote that I saw really stuck with me. Dr. King said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands during times of comfort and convenience, but where he stands during times of challenge and controversy. That hit me a lot because my life's kind of been nothing but challenge and controversy as of late. A few months back, I was standing in this ring. I had 2 titles in my hands. I had 2 brothers by my side. And now I've got no titles and a broken family. But in life, we can't focus on the things we don't have. We've got to focus on the things that we do have. And what I do have is the same thing I've always had. My first love, my last love, this.
Just points to the fans.
And as long as I've got this ring under my feet and this microphone in my hand and this fire in my eyes, I can stand here and tell you I'm going to go to Phoenix this Sunday and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble match. And even saying that sounds crazy. It sounds like a long shot. Hell, it is a long shot, but I got to be honest with you guys. I don't give a damn because my whole life has been a long shot. I'm not your stereotypical WWE superstar. Like, this wasn't meant for me. I'm not as big as Drew McIntyre. I'm not as powerful as Bobby Lashley. That's not me. I'm just a kid from a small Midwestern town Not much different than Oklahoma City.
The only reason Oklahoma City has any relevance is because Clay Bennett stole the Sonics from Seattle and took them to Oklahoma City. That is the only reason Oklahoma City has any relevance in today's culture.
My folks,
Don't at me.
they were working class. They did everything they could to put food on the table, keep a roof over my head. I could be working in a factory. I could be working on a farm. I could be doing all that stuff. Could be driving a truck, man. The only reason I'm not doing that is this. This.
It's hard.
Right here. Call it heart, call it passion, call it love, call it determination, call it whatever you want to call it, but it is not inside my chest. It is ingrained in my soul, in every fiber of my being. So yeah, it's a long shot. 30 guys are going to walk into the Royal Rumble on Sunday. They're going to lay it all on the line to go headline at the grandest stage of them all. They are. But when the dust settles, I promise you, there will be one man left standing. There will be one man going to headline WrestleMania, and that man is the man, Seth freaking Rollins. You know, I'm an honest man, and I will not stand idly by while you lie to yourself and lie to these people. There is a 0% chance that you're going to win the Royal Rumble match. I'm going to tell you why. It's your style. You're flying around, you come off the top rope, you've got no regard for your body, and inevitably you will be eliminated. But what would happen if you took all of that heart you have, all that passion, and you harnessed it, and you put it in the body of a 6'5", 265-pound Terminator? You would get Drew freaking McIntyre. So I really hope and I pray that we're in the ring together at the very end of the Royal Rumble, because I want to look you in your eyes right before I throw you over the top rope, and you have to listen to the ring announcer say, the winner of the 2019 Royal Rumble and the man that's going to go to WrestleMania and win the Universal Championship, Drew McIntyre.
And those are your top two winners of the two odds-on favorites to win the Men's Royal Rumble. I love Drew McIntyre's approach on promos, man. He just has this fire in him every time he comes out there. He doesn't phone it in. This guy is just letting out fire after fire after fire. This guy is just great on the mic. He is also great in the ring, as we know. So yes, we had a match between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Back from the break, and Seth Rollins, the match started during the break. Rollins nails a big dive on Drew early on, back and forth now. Rollins sends Drew to the floor and leaps to the top. But Drew moves and Rollins lands in the barrier. Moving on a little bit, this is a long match here. Back from the break, and they're going from another break, and they're going at it. Rollins with a sling blade. Rollins keeps control and hits a blockbuster from the corner. Drew avoids a buckle bomb and gets a 2 count. Rollins comes back for a close 2 of his own. Drew avoids the stomp, but Rollins counters with a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. What a beautiful beautiful move it was. Just all this combination, and next thing you know, you see a Falcon Arrow, which was great. Rollins gets up at first and readies for the stomp as fans chant burn it down. Now Rollins kicks Drew in the gut but misses the stomp. Rollins comes back and sends Drew into the corner. Rollins talks Drew up, but Drew back elbows him to the mat. Rollins comes back and gets Drew hung up in the tree of woe. Rollins climbs up, but Drew powers up and launches Rollins to the mat. Rollins lands on his feet. Drew with another big counter. Drew charges with a Claymore kick, but he runs into a big kick from Rollins. Rollins with a close 2 count. Fans shout, "This is awesome," which you have Drew freaking McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins in a match against each other. It's going to be a "This is awesome" chant, because these guys who just put on a hell of a show every single time. Okay, where we at? They get up and trade punches and chops. They unload in the middle of the ring now. Drew with a big glass cow kiss headbutt. They are both down. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this every single fucking time. We need to end headbutts like this in wrestling. I don't care if you have a steel plate in your damn head. WWE last year, I think it was, last year had a lawsuit for concussions thrown out. Do you really think they want more people to come out and say, yeah, I had a concussion from working with WWE and they didn't tell me? And just have it keep piling up? That's like he does it, Tony Storm does it, and I'm pretty sure others do it too. Can we just outlaw headbutts? Tombstones outside of, I guess, the Canadian Destroyer and the Tombstone Power Driver, all of the Power Drivers have been banned because of head injuries. Why the fuck are you letting people do headbutts like this? It is nasty. You hear that smack, and that's not them slapping and trying to make the sack. That is actually their heads colliding. And you see, and it makes me cringe every time you see one of these, and then you see them wince and grab their head. It's gotta stop. Enough of the Glasgow kiss. Enough of all these freaking headbutts. It's just not good for the future of these wrestlers. Didn't somebody die? Didn't a Japanese the Japanese wrestler die from giving a headbutt, or like he had to retire because he suffered an aneurysm or something? Why the fuck would you rescue superstars with a headbutt like that every single time? There's no way you can work that where it's going to look good and not be legitimate. It needs to stop. Drew climbs up with Rollins on his back for the Super Senton. Rollins still kicks out at 2. Drew responds with a sit-out powerbomb for a close 2 count. Rollins counters a clothesline and rolls Drew up for the pin and the win out of nowhere. Just like, what the fuck? Little anticlimactic. You're having this big, awesome match, and then out of nowhere you get a pin. No stomp, no Claymore kick, no Future Shock DDT, no ripcord knee, no nothing. Just a roll-up. Seth Rollins wins. Lucha House Party versus the Singh Brothers and Jinder Mahal. Lucha House Party win, don't give a shit. Elias is out here, he makes fun of Baron Corbin. They have a match, Corbin wins that, don't give a shit. Then we had Tucker Knight and Otis Dojovic versus the Ascension. We had the Ascension who had the jobber entrance, as we all call it. So it's like, okay, we have heavy machinery. And Vince McMahon, it was brought out that Vince McMahon wanted the NXT superstars, the call-ups, to be on TV because Vince McMahon doesn't think that anyone knows who they are. Well, apparently, everybody in the crowd knew who Otis Dojovic and Tucker Knight were because they were over, man. Tucker Knight, not Tucker Knight, but Otis Dojovic, when he does his Caterpillar, was getting the crowd into it, man. This guy was over like Rover. Let's see. Victor starts off with Otis and they lock up. Victor takes control early on out of the corner, but Otis just takes it all. Otis charges, but Victor goes behind. Otis tosses him and scoops him, spinning him around for a big slam. Tucker tags in and they hit the double team headbutts, which I've never seen them actually use in NXT. Tucker bends into Victor's boot in the corner. Victor unloads, but Tucker hits a crossbody for a 2 count. Otis tags back in for more double teaming. Then they do an impersonation of the Bushwhackers, and I'm like, what the hell? Is this going to be the shtick where they do comedy stuff during their matches of the Bushwhackers and others? Please no. Just please no. Connor runs in but gets dropped. Otis dances around and drops an elbow on Connor. Victor gets dropped again out of the corner. Otis hits the Caterpillar. Tags in Tucker for the double team compactor. Tucker covers Victor for the 1, 2, 3, and Heavy Machinery is your winners. Did you expect anybody else to win that match? Great to see Heavy Machinery, even though it was a short match. Great to see Heavy Machinery out there, at least getting to show you what they can do. Then we had Gable and Drew versus Reveiw tag team title matches. This match came to be because Vince McMahon was in town. They had Vince McMahon here. Vince McMahon was in the back. And you had the Revival talking to Vince and asking for another opportunity because the last 2 times they had a tag team title opportunity, they got fucked over one way or another. Vince McMahon was like trying to tell them, you've had your opportunities and it's not going to happen. But Cole Hawkins, for whatever reason, comes in to talk to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon pretty much tells him, no, you're not going to get any type of match because you've lost your money. So he makes Kurt Hawkins the special guest referee of this match. And you had Michael Cole and Renee Young talking about how great of a referee Kurt Hawkins was in this match, and he did call it down the middle. The Revival thought, they had Kurt Hawkins in their back pocket. He was going to help them win the tag team titles, and that didn't happen. Let's see here. Wilder starts off with Gable, and they go at it. Gable looks to tag, but Hawkins is already playing games. Tells him to, like the whole tag ropes thing. Dawson tags in and works Gable around. The Revival end up double teaming, but Gable hits a double crossbody off the top. Rude comes in for a double suplexes. Rude and Gable clear the ring. Rude launches Gable out to take Wilder down on the floor. Gable celebrates too early and turns around to a big clothesline from Dawson on the floor as we go to commercial break. More back and forth as we get into this match. Gable comes in and hits a crossbody towards the end of this match on Dawson, but he rolls through. Dawson holds the tights, but Hawkins calls him out on it. Dawson sends Gable to the apron. Dawson argues with Hawkins and puts hands on him. Dawson turns around to a shot from Gable. Revival tries for another cheap assist again for the apron, but Hawkins stops them. This leads to Gable getting the pin to retain. So, again, 3 opportunities, 3 fuck finishes, and the Revival are buried. Last week they beat the Lucha House Party, went to the back, and asked for the release. If I was them, I would go to the back, grab my shit, and I'm going home. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. WWE, this is how you want to treat us. We are one of the best tag teams that you're not using properly, and you're going to have us do that type of fucking match? That was a fucking joke. A joke of a fucking match, and and WWE should be ashamed of themselves. This is their tag team. This is why matches like this and shit like this is why I'm fearful of the Undisputed Era, Heavy Machinery doing anything after tonight, the War Raiders, Street Profits, anybody else who's a tag team on NXT or NXT UK coming to Raw and SmackDown, because they're going to come to Raw and SmackDown, especially Monday Night Raw, and they'll get buried, and they'll get either be broken up, buried, or just made to look like fools. This was a fucking joke. A tag team championship match that just was was nothing but shit. Absolute shit. The last match of the night, we see Ronda Rousey warming up backstage when Dasha Fuentes approaches for comments, asking what she would say to Sasha Banks if she was standing here in front of her. Rousey says she is focused on tonight's match, but she can't think of any reason why she would owe Banks an apology. Rousey says she doesn't owe Banks a damn thing. She tried praising Banks on a Moment of Bliss a few weeks back, but Banks just insulted her. Rousey goes on about how Banks and her work ethic, saying she's too high on her own hype instead of being angry to be better. Rousey says she will show Banks at the Rumble that the boss has to answer to someone, and that's her, the boss of the boss and the head bitch in charge, the women's champion, and Rousey walks out to the ring. And then we go to commercial break, and Natalya's already in the ring with Ronda Rousey, and we get up to Bayley and Sasha Banks coming into the ring. Banks grabs the mic and fires back at Rousey and about how she has been handed her spot at the Rumble last year and more. Banks goes on to say that she will handle Rousey at the Rumble this Sunday. They have words and try to fight, but the partners hold them back and the referee tries to restore order. Natalya calms Rousey down in the corner. I'm going to say that Sasha Banks has been on point with her fineness. She's felt more of like NXT Sasha Banks than she has Raw Sasha Banks, with how good her promos have been. Like, she just has that fire lit under her now because she's going for the Women's Championship, and her and Bayley are probably going to be the first Women's Tag Team Champions at the Elimination Chamber, so she's going to actually be doing something, and she just seems to have a renewed vigor on Monday Night Raw, and that's a good thing. Banks and Natalya would start this match off. The bell rings, and Banks immediately knocks Rousey off the apron. Banks wrestles Natalya to the mat as Rousey rushes to the ring. The referee backs her out of the ring. Banks and Bayley double-team Natalya for now. Bayley with a suplex for a 2 count. Rousey tags in and takes down both opponents. Banks and Bayley look on from the floor as Rousey talks trash. We go to commercial. Later on, Banks fights off Rousey's shoulders with elbows. Banks slides Rousey for a 2 count. Banks stays on top of Rousey and drops her into the Banks statement. The match turns to chaos for a few minutes. Rousey drops Bayley for a close 2 count. Rousey unloads on Bayley now. Banks comes in and stands in front of Bayley. but moves as Rousey charges. Bayley catches a leg and drags Rousey to the corner as Banks, which she made, like, that catch that she did was a nice, like, that was like just a reflex that she caught her leg and then just drug her. Banks and Bayley double team Rousey again. Rousey takes Banks down by the arm, then tangles on the mat as Banks tries to avoid the armbar. Banks makes it to the rope to break it up. Banks stuns Rousey with a kick. Natalya tags in and brings Banks in from the apron with a suplex. Natalya steps on Banks' neck, does her step over, then drop kick maneuver. Bayley off the apron and hits the basement drop kick to Banks. Natalya goes for the sharpshooter on Banks and gets it locked in. Bayley makes a save and knocks Rousey to the floor. Natalya drops Bayley. Banks blocks a powerbomb, drops Natalya with a backstabber. Banks with the Banks statement in the middle of the ring for the submission win as Bayley and Sasha Banks win. After the match, Bayley and Sasha Banks look to start leaving, but Banks comes back into the ring and her and Natalya start staring down and they start trading words off microphone as Natalya and Bayley try to separate their tag team partners as the show goes dark. And then that was Monday Night Raw. Another half-assed attempt to get us to actually watch this show. I enjoyed the fact that, I mean, it was the Ascension. The Ascension had been trashed since they came up, what was it, 3-4 years ago? They haven't done anything. So, it was great to see Heavy Machinery actually in a match. I wish they would have the Moment of Bliss come up so I can at least have the Lacey Evans part because, my word. EC3 was also on the show, so was Nikki Cross during that Moment of Bliss segment because Alexa Bliss was just like saying all these women who are gonna be in the Royal Rumble because they put a graphic up on the Tron, and she's sitting there naming every single woman who's in the Royal Rumble. She does announce that she is going to be in the Royal Rumble too, so she has been cleared to wrestle again. Who gives a shit? Because Alexa Bliss has been absolute dog shit trash in the ring. She has not improved. She's never been able to get better than she did before. So why the hell would anyone want to see Alexa Bliss in the ring? I know I won't be happy. I won't care. Maybe she'll get thrown out. Who knows? But yeah, 1 year later, and the women's champions of last year are both in the Royal Rumble this year. How about that? But she brings out Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is about ready to say who she would pick if she went for the Raw SmackDown title. Ember Moon comes out, and then everybody comes out, including Nikki Cross. They all brawl to the back, and then she says she's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and then Lacey Evans comes out and starts talking like this. What a bunch of nasties, classless ladies. And I'm like, what the fuck did they do to Lacey Evans? Is this even the real Lacey Evans? Because she sounds like a robot, and I don't get why the fuck they do this. It's just so fucking stupid. You take what Lacey Evans was, I've never heard her sound so cringeworthy and so horrible than I did tonight. And if that's how she's going to sound, then I don't even want to see Lacey Evans get a shot in the main roster because, my word, that was awful. Monday Night Raw, still nothing good. Like, I guess, yeah, Otis Dozovic and Tucker Knight was great to see them in the ring. It's like, they're not assigned to Raw or SmackDown yet, but it's like, you don't have to be assigned to a brand yet and be in the ring. EC3 was shown in the back before the Alliance segment. He was looking in the mirror after they showed the same hype package for him. Again, he's looking in the mirror about himself. Looked like he was ready to wrestle. Dana Brooke comes up and asks him about how he does how he keeps himself how he is, and he stays quiet. So EC3 has not said a word yet. Period. Monday Night Raw is desperately need to go back to 2 hours. Plain and simple. And I'm hoping if whenever Tuesday Night Dynamite or whatever AEW is going to do comes to fruition, it's a 2-hour show and it's a good show because that's how you beat WWE. If you put a good quality product and you give us something to actually watch and be like, wow, that show was great. I can't wait to see what happens next week. I watch the Fight Wrestling on YouTube every single Sunday. I watch it later because 2 o'clock my time or 3 o'clock my time, I'm busy doing other stuff in the daytime. and I don't get to watch it. But when I watch it and I enjoy relatively most of the stuff that goes on there. Yes, they're not perfect. They have stuff that I don't care about. But it's still a good show, and it's like, man, they hype you up for next week. Like 2 weeks, like when Pac and David Starr happened, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, they hyped that shit up for 2 or 3 weeks. WWE hardly ever hypes up anything for the next episode of Monday Night Raw. What should we look forward to? We don't know until we get to like the next Monday. We'll start getting like, oh, this match is going to happen, or on Sunday it's like, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Natalya and Ronda Rousey is going to happen this Monday on Monday Night Raw. You couldn't tell me that last week? They didn't close the show, did they? I don't think they did. No, the Fatal 4-Way did. You couldn't have had that thing, like, while the men were making their entrances to the match for Bayley and this match just broke. Next week, Bayley and Sasha Banks will take on Ronda Rousey and Natalya in a tag team match 6 nights before the Royal Rumble. They didn't do that. We had to find out on social media or on the dirt sheets because WWE doesn't fucking think. Just like we're going to have Vince McMahon there tomorrow night on SmackDown. Yay! WWE's got a lot to do to fix the Monday Night Raw. SmackDown's hit or miss. It's like they throw things at a dartboard for SmackDown Live, and a lot of them more, and it's like it's a dartboard of good ideas and a lot more stick than miss. When in Monday Night Raw, they throw it and one good idea and everything else is just trash. They got a lot to do, and hopefully AEW will come in and show WWE that, hey, this is what you should be doing. This is not okay to be going in there and just making fools out of your fans. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live, or tonight, yeah, because it is the next day when you'll see this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Was it good? Was it bad? Or you just saying, fuck WWE, I can't wait for AEW. Find me on Twitter at TheFrance and find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. I did put a poll up on my Twitter page at TheFrance. Twitter at TheFrance. Thumbs up, thumbs down, didn't watch it, or fuck WWE, AEW all the way. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live.